Hey guys, Joel Frankie, market analyst for YouTrading, and in today's educational video, we're going to be taking a look at trend channels and how to potentially trade them and how they can play out in the market. So I've got a good example here of a trend channel. It is euro dollar, the exchange rate between the euro and the US dollar, and it's recently had quite a significant technical break out of a trend channel that it had been moving lower within for quite a long time. You can see here, this is the upper bounds of the trend channel. The trend channel sort of starts in February. You've got multiple touches of this trend channel. First one in March, second one in June. Then we sort of come close again in end of June. Then we come close in August. Then we touch it in September. Then we come close again at the beginning of this month, October. Multiple touches, multiple respects of that level. And then arguably you've also got a trend channel going to the downside as well, or a trend line going to the downside as well. So this was very much a very obvious trend channel, bearish trend channel that I know a lot of people were looking at. You just look at social media and other people's analysis. A lot of people were talking about this trend channel as well. And when there's a lot of people in the market looking at the same technical indicator, that gives the technical indicator some more weight. It can become a self-fulfilling prophecy, for example, like when you start to rally and approach this trend channel, a lot of people potentially start getting excited and adding to the selling pressure because they're thinking, oh yeah, this is a good area to sell because we're in the trend channel. Um, so anyway, uh, what about when you break the trend channel, which you can see in the last couple of days, we have broken the trend channel. We briefly broke above this area of resistance here as well, around parity, although we have now slumped just around back below parity. But how could you potentially trade this from a technical standpoint? Well, let's go on a slightly smaller candlesticks. This is 4 hour candlesticks, excuse me. Um, One of my favorite ways is to observe the breakout, not to chase the breakout. I mean, if you think there's going to be a really aggressive move in the market, then I guess you could chase the breakout. But what I prefer to do is be patient, wait for the pullback and the retest, which you could argue we've now more or less had. We've fallen back and found some support where the trend channel resides. And then this is now where you can think about adding to that, in this case, long position, um, and targeting a move back to the recent high. That would be your potentially your first profit target. Then to the next area of resistance, which you could say would be around here, 102. And then if this is a longer term trade for you, I think that if we do get this uh, Fed pivot, I say it's not really a Fed pivot, but if we do get the Fed indicating that they're going to slow the pace of rate hikes going ahead, we do get a bit more risk on in markets like we have had US equities. I mean, it's been bumpy because there's been this mixed sort of kind of bad earnings season, bad for big tech, but good for other things, which is why I see in the Dow rally, but the Nasdaq not doing so well. But anyway, if you continue to see equity markets sort of stumbling higher, that could put some sell pressure on the dollar as well from a risk on standpoint, and potentially you could hit this resistance area around 103.50 as well. But yeah, I mean that's just how I'm looking at this trend channel, potentially how things could play out. We're going to have to wait and see. I hope this video, let's go back on the 1 day candlesticks, shed some light about how you can identify these trend channels. This was a very, very good example with euro dollar. They're not always this clear. Um, and fingers crossed this does play out exactly how I've laid out in this video so I can look like a genius. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed the video, guys, found it informative, and I will see you all in the next one.